victors valiant, the conquering heroes, and they call home the Big House. Bathed in maize and blue, welcome to Ann Arbor, home of the Michigan Wolverines. We have a ranked versus unranked battle coming up here, and you know how chaos can ensue if they start smelling an upset. As we'll see a squad from the Big 12, the Oklahoma Sooners, taking on the 14th ranked team in the land, the Michigan Wolverines. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up. And the Wolverines will kick it off to get us underway. So much for the touchback. Here he comes. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. You think the fans are ready for this one? The booth's shaking underneath us, guys. Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. Crosses the 30, he's got a lane. He showed it all there, a little elusiveness, a little power, and he's got the first down. You know, Oklahoma's DNA is being tough. They have a whole drill about being tough named after them, the Oklahoma drill, and they won that one.
Yeah, and we've seen that kind of come and go some throughout the years, but it started with serious physicality back in the day when they ran the option and just hit you in the mouth. But, you know, football's involved, and that's the one thing about this offense. Can they keep their physicality, assert their physicality? The good Oklahoma teams are physical.
This crowd going to try to make life miserable for these guys. Right back up top on 2nd and 10. Wide open downfield. They got him free for a big gainer to the 43. Another big play for this Sooner receiver, dare I say, Hollywood-esque.
Hollywood is right, and that's one guy that comes to mind, by the way. But this offense, it just does what it does. No matter the name, no matter the coach, whoever it is, it's going to be high-flying, it's going to be fast-paced, and it's going to be really...
And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. While the Big Ten has expanded with this massive continent-wide geographical footprint, the Big 12 has been really shrewd in positioning and maneuvering for survival, and they look for opportunities to win on the field like they'll have today.
Yeah, and the Big Ten's kind of taking what the Big Ten wants and expanding and not really worried about anybody else. So if I'm the Big 12, I'm like, yeah, you ain't worried about me, but you're going to worry about me today and on the field, and I can make a
deep shot for the end zone. Fires into traffic, intercepted. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception. And the senior just snatched the ball out of the air and gave it back to his offense.
Well, the defense came into this game, guys, knowing that they were going to be tested with the offense throwing it vertically downfield. And you saw it right there on the opening drive. They were ready for it. Great job locating the ball.
And he'll be knocked down at the 2-yard line.
And you can tell this offense wanted to create a little bit of space being backed up. But how about the D? Coming out firing on all cylinders, getting the sack on the very first play.
That sack gets this offense behind the chains. It's 2nd down. They'll try the right side. Nice stiff arm there, but the defense still able to stop him for a short gain.
Oh, man, there's some big hitting going on in the trenches right now. This defense, they take a lot of pride in stopping the run. Let's keep our eye on them throughout the course of the game and see if they can contain this running attack.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. Pressure coming. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
We're already in the first quarter, but already you get the feeling this could be a long day for this QB. He's already been sacked. He gets hit right there on the incomplete throw. They've got to find a way to do a better job up front of protecting this guy, or it's going to be difficult to put up points.
Makes a move. This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. The Sooner offense returns to the field. That last drive was promising for a while, but you just can't mess it up at the end with the pick, Jesse.
No, you got to be able to finish drives, especially in this game if you're going to win. And David, they've got to be able to eliminate the mental mistakes.
Yeah, and I don't think you get conservative or play it safe. You can trust your guy. I think you put the ball right back in his hands and let him do his thing.
Got 3 on first down at 2nd and 7. Looking to throw at Hawkins. Working that left side now. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
They'll try to get outside. And they did not let him get to that first down line. It'll bring up a call here. The Sooners decide to punt it away. He ought to be able to use this first punt to pin him deep. He'll call for the fair catch here. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Last time, David, it was 1-2-3 kick.
The last drive, that 3 and out, sometimes that puts your defense in a bad spot, and you got to get a drive together here so you don't wear the defense out.
I just think, David, too predictable that last drive. They got to do something here to get this defense on their heels.
Yeah, and way to be creative, way to get the ball in the perimeter really quickly, get some speed outside. All you got to do is secure that edge, and you're just trying to get that first down. Nice job. Nice play call by the offense.
They'll throw it on first down. Spits it out to the back. Makes the grab. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that first down. They're not just using the running back as check down Charlie in the passing game. They're getting him downfield.
Right, and take my matchups I like. If you're going to play man-to-man, who are you going to put on the running back? You want to put a linebacker on him? I like my chances, even with safeties. Those guys, listen, they aren't as great as corners and covering, so I like finding matchups and exploiting.
The Wolverines will snap it on 1st and 10. Davis looking to pass. Oh, he's going to try to get it all here. Wide open, he makes the catch. Touchdown, Michigan! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Here comes the offense on first down. They're going to throw it to start the drive. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
What a great play. This guy is a force on this D-line. You think about Michigan football defensively, they've got dudes up front. Aiden Hutchinson, Brandon Graham, Mozzie Smith, Rashawn Gary. Guys that can win one-on-one and guys that change and force your game plan to have to adapt for them. You need to double team these guys if you want to have any chance. This is that type of player. He's got so much ability.
Got him downfield. Nothing but green ahead. At the 30. Past the 10. Touchdown Sooners. And once he found some daylight, it was time to make a house call.
And how nice is it to have a playmaker like that I can get the ball out of my hands right to him and say, all right, dude, you got jets, you can fly, catch the slant, make some people miss, outrun some angles, and get all the way to the end zone.
And And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Two very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. Texas stomped a mud hole en route to a double-digit win, and they did it outside of Austin city limits. That speaks to the way this coach has galvanized this team and the direction this program is headed. 60 minutes of football and a convincing outcome, and certainly a game with implications far beyond just the standings, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there.
Quarterbacks love the short passing game early in games because it really helps them get into their rhythm. So nice job by the offensive coordinator giving his quarterback an easy throw, something he can see, and something that he knows he can complete.
Long incompletions are okay. You got to take shots. You got to make big plays in college football. I love that you're taking shots. Keep taking them. Some of those are going to come home. Some of them aren't. But when they come home, they equal big-time points.
Hard running there. And he's got enough for the first down. It'll be at the 35.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
They're bringing heat. They get to him as he throws. Hit hard as he released the ball on that first down pass, and it never had a chance.
All right, well, if you're the quarterback, you know at this point, this is one of those days that I'm going to have to just strap it up. I'll probably be in an ice bath when the game is over because I'm getting hit a lot. We're only in the first quarter. My accuracy and my timing is going to have to be at a premium.
The expressway is wide open. He wasn't far from taking it to the house, and that'll be the final play of the first quarter. First down to start the drive after the break. Use the play fake, now to throw. Lets it fly deep downfield. Reels it in the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. Lining up to add another. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. So that scoring drive took only 6 plays. And they pay it off with a strike from 38 yards out. And he takes this from inside the 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Here comes the Sooner offense back onto the field. Jesse, a very productive drive last time, wound up with a touchdown.
Yeah, mixing and matching play calling really well. Nice balance on that last one, Dave. Let's see what they can do here in this next drive.
Yeah, and I don't expect anything different. When you put together a drive like that, I would do more of the same. Keep the pace, keep it going.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. Wants to throw. It's Hawkins. Finds his big tight end. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch. Love the way he didn't just run to a spot. He found the cushion in the zone and got himself open for the first down.
Yeah, and you're taught to find that space. You know, don't run right into a zone defender who's sitting there looking at the quarterback and looking at you. So much creativity with routes now and being able to just have subtle moves one way, come back the other way. Nice job by the tight end finding that hole in the zone.
And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in a hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
On 2nd down, wants to throw. Zings it complete to the right. And tackled there by the defense.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. Taking it the other way. He goes out of bounds, but he just about did it himself. What a return after the interception.
This is obviously not a great start for this quarterback here. 2 interceptions already in this game. He's got to do a much better job with his decision.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. Trying to start the drive with a pass. He turns it loose to the left. And he's got it inside the 25. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Michigan.
Nice drive, nice touchdown. I love this offense's response to what happened a week ago. Listen, we're 0-1, so be it. Let's put the foot on the gas. Let's move forward, get better, and they have in game 2 so far.
About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. He'll start the return inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Here come the Sooners ready to go on offense. Now we'll get a chance to see if they can answer that last score, trailing by 14, Jesse.
Yeah, and at this point in the
And here's the 3rd interception of the night. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34.
Well, he was rolling to his right. Because of that, I don't know if it affected the timing between him and his wide receiver. They just weren't on the same page on that one as the defense comes away with the INT.
Offense set on 1st down. Davis will throw. Going for it all. And makes the grab in the end zone. Touchdown, Wolverines. On to attempt the try. And the extra point is true, and the lead balloons to 21. Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. On the move from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. So Oklahoma has it again, and here comes the offense. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. Just the ability to move the chains, keep the drive going, sort of quintessential efficiency from a Sooner quarterback.
Yeah, and from a Sooner offense because, Reese, they keep the drive going, but what does that do? Most Oklahoma teams over the years, we see them go fast, and they wear you down throughout a football game. So the quarterback play on those completions that move the sticks, that make you play 3 more plays, 4 more plays, 5 more plays, just wear you out.
Couldn't make the connection on 1st down. Now here on 2nd. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Looking to the big tight end. And they can't connect, but the flag flies, and I think this is going to be pass interference.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
The offense comes back out with a new set of downs after the penalty. Running to the left. You'll take 4 yards on first down every time, 2nd and 6.
And as an offense, having success on a run play like that early in the game just opens up all the possibilities of your playbook moving forward. Play action, running the ball, throwing the ball, screens, anything is at your disposal at this point.
They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
That back had absolutely nowhere to run the football. Actually, is he counting? I think he's counting to make sure there's only 11 guys on defense.
It's 3rd down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. From the gun, wants to pass. That's reeled in. It's Mitchell. We've made our way to the 2-minute warning, and now they'll try to at least cut a little something off of this lead before the break. The Sooners have it with a 1st and 10. Looking to move it through the air. He'll take the deep shot. And man, oh man, he is in the dark tonight. His 4th interception. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
I tell you what, I don't know if I'm going to try him much more. Goodness gracious, you can tell he's ready for what he's seeing. 2nd interception. I would not throw near that guy anymore. You want to try the other side of the field.
Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. This has been an impressive first half, and Jesse, they love nothing better than to tack another one on. He tries to take the top off. And the ball is picked off. Oh, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it 1st down at the 39.
And this ball looks like it just got away from the quarterback. I think he made the right decision. He was going to the receiver that seemed open, but just not very accurate on the throw, and that leads to the interception.
3 tight ends in the formation on 1st and 10. They'll go to the toss. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, the defense had the perfect play call on there. Offense trying to go toss into the boundary, but the defense dialed up the corner blitz. Perfect play for the perfect moment to get the tackle for loss.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to pass. It's Hawkins. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. And the sophomore has to get that one out in front of his receiver.
And you've seen this formula work at all levels of football. You pressure the quarterback, his numbers start to drop. He's not as efficient. Nice job by the defense.
Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
And this is why this team is losing this game right now. They cannot protect their quarterback. He's already been sacked a bunch of times. Almost got sacked right there. This guy doesn't have a chance with the way this offensive line is playing.
Oh, and averts disaster by falling on his own fumble.
These specialists and these return specialists, they got speed for days. But you better hang on to the football. I know you want to make big plays, those splash plays that can change games, but you better secure the football first.
To the air on 1st down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Yeah, and this defense hadn't had a lot of success. This offense has been doing what it wants at will. Finally getting to the QB, finally getting some pressure, finally getting a big hit on him. That'll pay some dividends down the road.
On 2nd down, just keeps firing. Bought a little time, lets it go. Snagged on the outside, it's Morgan. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the 1st down. On 3rd and short, they'll try to throw for it. Dumps it to the back. Pulls it in. He steps out of bounds after a huge play, but hang on just a second. Defense might get bailed out here by a flag. A 1st down for the offense. Here we go. He's looking to throw it. They're trying to get to it. Can't find his man as he took a shot trying to deliver that football, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's hard throwing in the pocket, man. You got bodies and 300-pound dudes falling all over the place. They're trying to hit you. That time, the pressure got to them, and it forced the incompletion.
After the quarterback and receiver couldn't connect, it's 2nd and 10. Davis looking to pass. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact on the play, but no flags. It'll be 3rd down.
Love the physicality of this secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
On 3rd and long, he has to throw for it. And the defense, they've got him at the 27.
Well, we knew coming into this game, this defense had some matchups they felt really good about up front, and they won one right there, getting to the quarterback, creating a negative play, and they're going to need these guys to start winning more of those because they are finding themselves in a hole here early in the game.
Unloads to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Gets it inside the 5, down to the 4, and it'll be 1st and goal. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. A 1st down run in the red zone. Touchdown, Michigan! And they take it in for 6 more points. Ready to try the point after. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes. It just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
Get that touchdown right before the half, build the momentum, and the last thing you need to do is mess it up by allowing a big kickoff return. On the run from inside his own 5. Couldn't find a way to create that broken field as he stopped at the 25. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. To the air, it's Hawkins. Floating away. He chucks one out to the right. And his 5th interception of the game, a miracle they haven't pulled him yet. And the defender is tackled, and that's how we'll run out the first half. We played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Sooners will kick it away to crank up the second half. Just unloaded on that kickoff. Don't have to worry about a return on a kick like that. They'll bring it out to the 25. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. First play from scrimmage here in the second half, and they'll keep it on the ground. Tackle is made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
Small gain, I know, but again, the defense knows he's going to run the football. He's willing to run the football, not just drop back and pass, make him honor the run game. You got to do a lot of this.
The play action fake. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19.
They tried to go play action, but that did not affect the defensive tackle. He was bull rushing his guy, collapsing the pocket, and he comes away with a sack.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Coming after it. Takes a hit as he fires. That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That is a good omen for this defense. They were getting lit up in the first half. They knew something had to change. So to set the tone like this early on their opening drive of the 3rd quarter and get a stop on 3rd, that should really help their confidence.
Defense a little too jumpy there, and they got into the neutral zone too soon. Defense a little too eager. That's an encroachment penalty, 5 yards for the offense. Perhaps emboldened by converting a 4th down earlier in the game, they'll try a 2nd time. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. And that pass intercepted. Oh, he was hoping to make something out of that return, but they'll have it 1st down at the 39.
And we know turnover margin is a huge part of winning ball games. Interception number 2 is quarterback has to do a better job taking care of the football. Don't force it. Take the high completion percentage stuff. Don't always try to go for the big play.
excellent field position here for the offense. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
That's not how you want to start a drive. On the very first play, you give up a sack and you lose a ton of yards. Quarterback, you've got to know, just throw the ball away, know when the play is over.
That offense having to deal with the last thing you want on first down, giving up a sack as they come up to the line on second down. Fires to the wideout. Got his man to the left. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up, looking for the end zone. And he's thrown another interception. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Listen, we all want to go back-to-back, but not on interceptions. Come on now. We got to take care of the football. Let's make sure we change something up on the next drive. 2 possessions, 2 picks. Offensive coordinator, get the bullpen warmed up.
And they're not on the same page there. Sometimes a quarterback just needs to turn the ball loose. It was like he tried to guide that one in, and it disrupted the timing.
Yeah, and just like in basketball, when you shoot a shot and you start trying to aim it, you really, really miss. You know, quarterbacks, they got to quickly be able to recognize, do I need to fire it? Do I need to put a little air underneath it? And it's just a tough thing for a quarterback to be able to do. But over time, you see they have less and less mishaps like that.
This is the type of play that can give the offense momentum. 3rd and short from inside the 20. He gets it so close to the first down marker, but I think he's going to be a touch short. In their own territory, no problem. 4th and inches, and they'll go for it. And the Wolverines pick up the first down.
Well, if you needed any evidence, this coaching staff trusts their big offensive line. You saw it right there. 4th down, they go for it deep in their own end, and it pays off.
Come on. Don't you think they thought it was 3rd down?
Somebody on the sidelines got some explaining to do, but he's breathing a lot easier now that they were able to pick it up.
They'll throw it on first down. Trying to beat the D deep. Snatches it on the right. And he's running in the open. Touchdown Wolverines. And the punishment has been extended.
What a difference a change of scenery makes, right? I mean, they went into a hostile environment. They lost their first game, but they've rebounded beautifully. And I think coming back, playing in front of their home crowd really has impacted this game, and it's gotten them back to 500.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. Utah State is currently trailing in this one, but it feels like the tide may be turning. These Aggies have picked themselves up before, and they're capable of it again today. It's a tight one right now. They're trailing by only 5 to Navy. We promise to keep you posted on what goes down in this exciting college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Now the Oklahoma offense will go back to work. One of the most valuable things a quarterback can have, David, short-term memory. Just forget that last pick.
You're dang right. Clear the mechanism. It's over, move it behind. Some players can't do that real well, and it leads to more mistakes, Jesse. You got to just forget about it and move on.
And I think the coaching staff can help him too, David. I think you can get the running game going here and also give him some easy throws.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11.
29 Philly. 2-9 Philly.
Back to pass, it's Hawkins. Throws to the tight end. A strike downfield. Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34.
It's important on offense to get the tight ends involved in the passing game. These are big fellas that can run. This guy's a big target, so nice job on that play.
Lining up from the 34 on first down. Use the play fake, now to throw. He lets one fly deep. And he reels it in inside the 30. And they'll do more than move the chains. They'll move that thing more than 30 yards down the field before he's finally stopped. The Sooners getting set on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Fires the pass. Intercepted. Was looking for a little more daylight for a big return, but he'll settle for the pick and setting his offense up at the 24.
Man, this thing's starting to snowball now in a bad way for this offense. Second interception in as many drives. This quarterback has got to be able to turn the page and make better decisions.
Looking to go up top on 1st down. Catch in the middle. It's Moore. They make the stop right there. Good pickup, but still short of the 1st down.
That's a good job by the drag route there, understanding its zone coverage. So instead of continuing to run across the field, he settles down into an open spot, making it easy for his quarterback.
Trying to get to him. Underneath toast the coverage, got it deep downfield. And another big game for this offense. They are putting explosive pass after explosive pass up in this one. Get a big play like that last one, you flip the field, you change the momentum. Now it's 1st and 10 from the 38. Pocket starts to collapse. Just too much of a rush, and down goes the quarterback just behind the midfield stripe at the 49.
And the defense gets him on the ground for the 4th time today, by the way. They've pressured him. He's still done an unbelievable job making completions. But you know what? Get him on the ground when he's got the ball. He can't make something happen. Keep hitting him. Keep getting.
Unloads it downfield. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down.
I like quarterbacks that are being aggressive, but moving forward, if your guy's not open downfield, it's okay just to check it down to a tight end or a running back and take the profit.
This is a 3rd and long. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. And he's got it inside the 20. Touchdown, Michigan! And the pummeling has started.
And this offense looking more and more like themselves. This is what we're accustomed to seeing. Last week, more of a blip, right? 0-1 to start the season. Kind of had some bad vibes, some bad mojo. Bounced right back, putting up a ton of points. And this one is all but over. 1-1 is here for this team.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. Here comes the Oklahoma offense. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive that made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
And they'll come to the line with less than a yard to go. The give to the tailback. And how about that interior defense stuffing the run for nothing?
That's the end of the 3rd quarter. With the score, Michigan 49, Oklahoma 7.
Now facing a 3rd down as they line up after the break. they'll try to pick it up on the ground. They were all over him, nowhere to go as that third down play turned into a disaster. Down by multiple possessions, you can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. And it's incomplete and the defense holds.
Tell you what, it gets late in the football game, man. I got to start being aggressive. When I'm in a hole and the clock's running out, like it's going to make me have to throw the football, be more aggressive. And this offense doesn't come through for their team, and now they're going to really need their defense to get some stops here in this football game in the fourth quarter.
And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. This offense has really been clicked, unleashes one deep. And that one sails through the back of the end zone.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Throws for the tight end. He's got it. Makes the grab. Defense right there, and they are set up at the 14.
When I'm a quarterback and I see zone and I see my guy curl up real quick, I got to hum it. And he threw that thing with some revolutions, with some velocity right to his receiver so he can make the catch.
He'll throw it. He's got it on the move. Gets out of bounds after the big game, but they've got it first and goal.
I want to get my running backs the ball in space as much as possible. And sometimes it doesn't work in the running game, but I can throw it to him. I can try to create some space out wide, dump him the football, let him make some catches, and see if I can't get some big plays out of him.
Touchdown Wolverines! And the route is on. Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Going for the return. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Time for this Sooner offense to go back to work. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
First and 10 from their own 24-yard line. Looking downfield, it's Hawkins. Moves around to clear up the vision. Fires and picked off. Still running at the 40. Looking for more room. He'll finally go out of bounds, but he was showing off all the skills after that interception.
And as a defensive lineman late in the game, man, when you know it's past, you're pinning your ears back, trying to get to the quarterback, and DBs are trying to do this. Pad them stats and get the INT. Nice job by this D.
Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Fires on the move. He's got him wide open. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one.
Well, it really just feels like they are trying to make a statement to everybody in college football. They've got a lead, they've got it late, and they are still putting it on this defense. They are still letting it fly. They're airing it out, trying to light up the scoreboard.
The defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They want that clock to run. Keeps those legs churning for 3 yards. He's down at the 9. really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. He'll have to settle for a field goal attempt. And he'll kick for the 3 from 36 yards out in the right hash. Right down the boulevard, it's good. And that'll add 3 more to a lead that is already way out of hand. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Fellas, I think at least a portion of your audience will have an interest in the one that just finished up. Minnesota was able to come away with the victory, but it was not the type of dominant win we've seen from the Gophers over the years. A win, yes, but this one lacked style points. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. And he got enough for the first down, but somebody put the hit stick upside his head.
Nice job by the running back catching the football and understanding where the first down marker was. I got to go get that first down. He did a nice job of it.
Wide receiver shows motion. Scanning the field, it's Hawkins. Fires to the right. Into double coverage, and he picked it off. Bringing it back. The 10. And with the interception, he'll take it all the way back. Touchdown, Michigan.
Dude, you didn't think it could get any worse, right? You thought this game's over as it is anyways. Offense still throwing the football, still trying to make plays, and the defense just continues to pour it on, gets the pick, makes its way all the way to the end zone.
The kick is up and good and put one more on the lead. They're lining up to kick it off after the pick six, and that defense will come out feeling it. And he's going to run it back. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Guys, we'll get another look at this Oklahoma offense. This has been a really disappointing performance, David, no question about that, but they can find some positives.
Yeah, and every time you watch the tape, Jesse, coaches are pointing out, look at this. This was open if we just ran the details to the right route, hung on to the football. Little things can make a big difference.
Yeah, that's why they call it a game of inches, David. But I'll say this, if you're on offense, don't go on social media this week. It ain't going to be pretty after this performance. You've got to lock in.
Looking deep. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to.
Going for the big play. He fires back across the field, and it's intercepted. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today, too, David. They had a really good game plan coming into this one, and they went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because it's the defense's responsibility to stop them, or do they just run this clock and say, all right, we did enough today. We kicked them in the face.
And they'll bring him to the ground after a short gain.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. But, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board.
It's a big stride inside the 10. Takes it into the end zone for the touchdown on the final play. The denouement. The epilogue. The finishing touch.
And you you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
Just